Hey guys, what's going on? It's Sports Talk with Stock here today. Today I am going to be predicting the Cleveland Browns 2020-2021 record. And I think that they're going to do, I don't know. The Cleveland Browns are always hard for me to predict because on their team it's so much talent, but year after year they have proven that they cannot win because of their front office. That they beat themselves up. And now also they play the Ravens, and then I think the Bengals will be a little bit tougher. I don't think the Steelers will be that hard, but let me go a little bit into their coaches and players. So Steven Stefanski is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns now. He was the offensive coordinator for the Vikings, and I really liked him as like a guy coming in, and I think he can really, he's going to be a lot better than what they were last year. And I think he can really propel them more. I just don't think that they'll make a playoff spot or really even a 500 record. But then they also have Baker Mayfield, the number one pick a couple years ago. He broke the rookie passing touchdown record in his first year. Last year he had an okay year. And then this year I don't think he'll even have that great of a year. I think he might even regress a little bit more, or he can have a really good year. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't necessarily like Baker Mayfield. He's not one of my most favorite quarterbacks in the league, but he does show a lot of potential. And then there's Nick Chubb, who is, other than Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey, probably the best running back in the league. He's just like a straight head-on runner, and then you also have Kareem Hunt for like when he needs a break to keep him fresh and ready for the rest of the season. Then you have Odell Beckham Jr., who I feel like is just, I don't like the hype that Odell Beckham gets. He's not as good as I think people are, and he is really talented, but I don't like his ethic and his work. And I think Jarvis Landry is the other wide receiver, and I think he is a much better wide receiver than Odell Beckham Jr. I feel like he has more motivation. And I also like Donovan Peoples-Jones, a rookie wide receiver coming out of Michigan. I liked watching him, and I almost thought the Cardinals should go and get him before they went and got DeAndre Hopkins. Now, they also upgraded on their tight ends. They got David Njoku. They've already had David Njoku, but they got Austin Hooper. They made him the highest paid tight end in the league. And he's really good. He's really good for the Falcons when he's healthy, and hopefully he can stay healthy for them. And also, their offensive line got better when they drafted Jedrick Wills, and they also signed Jack Conklin. So they really wanted to focus on getting that part of their game better, which their line probably will be a lot better. They will have more protection for Baker Mayfield, but I think it'll be even better for Nick Chubb. I think he'll be the most beneficial from that. Now, on the defense, they still have Myles Garrett, and they also got a bunch of other players to help that defensive line. I think Myles Garrett will go back into starting right away, and I hope he can keep his he can stay cool this year, and he can, hopefully we can forget about what happened against the Steelers. And it's just, you can't let the game get to you like that. It's tough sometimes, but he is a dominant force when he's on the field. Now, they still have a bunch of other players that they can still work with, and like Olivier Vernon and Obajoji. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, sorry. Claiborne and, Sheldon Richardson. They still have a lot of pieces that they can use. Now, their linebacker core looks really weak right now. I don't see anybody that particularly stands out. They lost Joe Sherbert last year, who was one of the best linebackers last year, but he's a more instinct players. But I just want to see who's going to step up from there, And I think if your linebacker core isn't going to be that strong, then you're not really going to have that strong of a run. And then you have cornerbacks with Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams. I think they're pretty good with that. And then they also have a good safety in Grant Delpit. And I think Carl Joseph and Andrew Sandin-Gio can be pretty good for them too. Now I want to go into their record. I have them being third in the AFC North. I have them losing the first game against Baltimore. Baltimore is going to be a really tough one for them. Then I have them beating Cincinnati in week 2 and beating Washington in week 3. So at this point, they're 2-1. Then they lose to Dallas. And then they beat Indianapolis. So at this time, they are 3-2 after week 5. But then I feel like they lose 3 in a row. They lose to Pittsburgh. They lose to Cincinnati. And then they lose to Las Vegas to go on their bye week. So they've lost 3 in a row. This is a perfect time for their bye week. They come back, they play Houston, and they win that game. Then they lose to Philadelphia. Then they beat Jacksonville. And Tennessee, this is where their schedule gets a little bit tougher, and I feel like this is where they start to kind of fall apart as a team. I think they lose to Tennessee. I think they can actually beat Baltimore, or this can go either way, I feel like. But they beat Baltimore, then they lose to the Giants, they lose to the Jets, and then they beat Pittsburgh. This puts them at 7-9, 3-3 in their division, 6-6 in the AFC. They are 6-2 at home, which is really good, but they are 1-7 away, which is really bad. They are 1-2 versus winning, which means they've only played 3 winning teams, which is a really easy schedule for them. And they are 6-7 versus losing teams, so they have a losing record against losing teams, which is also really bad. I don't know. They have such a talented team. Sometimes so much talent on a team can be challenging to handle, and I don't think that front office that Cleveland has, I don't think they can handle that much talent, and they can find the right way to use it and the right way to keep the locker room. I see them missing out. They'll be the 10th seed in the AFC. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want you guys to all stay safe, have a good day, and comment down below what's the next team you want me to predict. See you guys next time.